I want to get back to the medical side, because when you're doing something like this where there's so many risks, you don't have long-term studies, you don't know what the long-term effects are. Is that what we're looking at 10, 20, 30 years from now? We may look back and say, what were we thinking?
Yeah, I think absolutely we are. I think you know, hindsight is 20/20, but we're actually starting to see a lot of the effects now. I think the introduction to this show was kind of a profile of all the acute issues that come with vaping. We know that e-liquids contain substances that are carcinogenic, so I don't think it's that great of a leap to suspect that some of these substances might be causing lung cancer or other types of cancer in the future. There are also substances that can cause irreversible lung damage. There's an entity called popcorn lung. The medical term is bronchiolitis obliterans, which is really an irreversible lung damage that there's no cure for. The only cure is actually a lung transplant. It's called popcorn lung. It's an interesting story, complete segue, but it was discovered in a popcorn factory. Workers were developing this disease from inhaling diacetyl, like Meredith mentioned. So we're starting to see a lot of the short-term consequences, and I think we will start seeing the long-term consequences probably as soon as 5 or 10 years from now.
We don't have that kind of time. These are kids.
Yeah.
We don't have that time, Caleb. I mean, that's the problem. These are kids. This was a public health emergency before these cases, which may in the end be linked to vaping. The CDC is investigating. We don't know, but we do know that we don't know what our kids are putting into their bodies at record numbers. And that's why these flavors that are hooking them have to come off the market. They cannot be guinea pigs.
Yeah.
And in some instances, parents will find their kids smoking and they'll say, oh my gosh, don't smoke cigarettes. I'd rather you vape.
Right.
What would you tell those parents?
Well, comparing cigarettes to vaping, the only people that should really be making that comparison are active adult smokers. Otherwise, you know, these are kids, Meredith mentioned this, you know, these are kids who probably wouldn't have even touched a cigarette if e-cigarettes hadn't existed. And so making that comparison, I don't think is very productive. I think, you know, you can get shot with a bullet or you could get shot with a bow and arrow. They're both probably going to do some damage. You can choose not to get shot with either. I really think that the only thing that goes in your lungs should be air and medication that's prescribed by your doctor.
Meredith, Caleb, thank you for being here today. Meredith, being an advocate. Dr. Hamberger, I really applaud you for the research that you're doing, and you really are on top of all of this. And we need more doctors like you to lend credence to the concerns that so many people have. And this has been eye-opening for me. I will openly admit, looking at the camera, and I will 100% acknowledge that I thought, wow, for the most part, I bet these are going to be relatively safe. And the reality is we don't know. And for parents out there watching, I'll tell you what, your kids may not listen to you, but show them a clip of this show. We'll have clips on our website. Share some of this with them, because if kids are getting the message that Caleb's getting in school, that, hey, this is great, and then friends are doing it, and it continues to be this cool phenomenon, and kids don't think there are any health consequences, we have to change that as a culture, as a country. In the meantime, share clips with them like this. Information gathering is key.